This week we are having a Darth Vader edition because we're honoring the passing of Darth Vader's voice, James Earl Jones. Darth Vader was a huge influence on me as a kid. Pre-Darth Vader and Star Wars, I was all about comic books and Mego. Post Star Wars and Darth Vader, I only cared about Star Wars. All of my kid dollars went to buying Star Wars toys, and some of them still go today. But what we do on this show each week is we talk about the different comic books I bought for the week. We go through them. I explain to you why I bought them. I explain to you who's writing them. We talk a little bit about them. I take comments from you guys. It's usually a lot of fun. Hopefully this week will be as fun as past weeks. I have 2 weeks worth of comic books. I missed the show last week. Something came up within the family. I couldn't be here. Next week's episode will be at 8 o'clock and not 6 o'clock as it normally is. So, without any further ado, let's crack open the bag from last week. There it is. We usually take the comics out. We dump the bag, and then we go full force into what we bought. What is going on here? I have them upside down. Oh, yep, I have them upside down. Sorry. First off, we have Army of Darkness Forever, written by one of our friends of the show, Tony Fleeks, who we did an interview with. Tony is a great guy. This series has been fantastic. It's basically a continuation of Army of Darkness. It looks at what Ash is up to. Absolutely fantastic. I'm a big fan of Evil Dead and of all of the movies involving Ash. I'm actually a huge Bruce Campbell fan. So, who's here? Comic plug. Always a loyal live listener comic plug. Hopefully we bought some of the same issues in the last 2 weeks. Absolute Power #3. Mark Waid is writing a story. It's going to lead into the Absolute Universe, which apparently is going to be a different universe than the current universe. Stories have been good, crossing over with a lot of different titles from DC. There are a bunch of Amazos that are taking the powers from all superheroes. It's been pretty good. Batman 152 is a crossover. 162 is a crossover with Absolute Power. This is written by Chip Zdarsky. Batman's been one of my favorite titles lately. I really like what they're doing with Batman and across all the Batman titles, especially his relationship with Robin. Penguin 12. Tom King is one of the best writers at DC, in my opinion. This series has been great. This, to me, is leading into the show that I can't wait to see. It looks absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend the Penguin series. I also highly recommend the Boy Wonder series. Like I said, this is issue number 5. It's being written and drawn by Juni Ba. This is a really more of a dark look at how Batman's son, Robin, became Robin when he was with his grandfather, Ra's al Ghul, and his mother, Talia al Ghul. It's been fun. I'm enjoying it. And I don't usually like the Black Label. I'm glad that they made Black Label back into this, but Justice Society of America, one of my all-time favorite teams. Jeff Johns is writing this. Who can beat Jeff Johns? This is great. Bringing back a lot of the old heroes into the universe again. It's been enjoyable. My Adventures with Superman. Josie Campbell still writing it. It takes place, it's like a subsidiary of the cartoon, which is good. I recommend this one too. Art is very much like the cartoon. I suggest that you go out and buy this or wait for it to be in trade. Here is my comic of the week. This is my comic of the week. He's back. He's Black Label. It's Plastic Man. Christopher Cantwell is writing it. I am a huge Plastic Man fan ever since I was a kid when the cartoon was on. If you've never watched the cartoon, look it up on YouTube after you watch this video. Look at some of how the live action and cartoon worked with Plastic Man and Plastic Baby. It was goofy, it was campy, but it was a lot of fun when I was a kid. Next up is probably the best cover of the week. This is a variant cover. This is Exceptional X-Men. It is an unbelievable cover. Look at that cover. This cover is done by Scott Koblish, And Scott is going to be on the show in a week or two. We are going to do an interview with him. I am so interested on how he does covers like this. He did a Fantastic Four cover like this too. So if you have any questions you want to ask the guy who drew this cover, Scott Koblish, just, write a comment or send us an email, collectorsconfessions@gmail.com, and we will definitely ask your question. I'm excited to have him on. Get Fury it's a more of an adult series. It's Fury and the Punisher together. This is issue number 5, written by Garth Ennis. Takes place during the Vietnam War. It is definitely more adult, as this Blade series will be way more adult. I think it's going to be a Red Label Blade series. What Marvel's doing, they're making more adult-oriented comic books. This one, Get Fury Blade, they did it with Blood Hunt. They had the Red Band ones, which are more adult. It's fun. One of the last of the Disco Dazzler covers, the Incredible Hulk 16. Who would not want to see She-Hulk looking like this at a disco? Absolutely. I love the series too. She-Hulk's one of my favorite characters, and she's actually dating Jack O'Hart, who's also one of my favorite obscure characters in the Marvel Universe. So it's been good. Yeah, really liking the Get Fury. I actually think I'm behind one issue I'm 2 issues behind, counting this one. Kid Venom. Tangani is writing it. No real reason why I'm buying it. I like the way the art looked. I'm usually not a big fan of the anime style, but I really like the way this looked, and it sounded interesting. If you've watched these lives before, then you know I absolutely love the reprints. Marvel Superhero Secret Wars number 9, a complete and total reprint with advertisements and all. It's like it's taken me back to 1985 when I was full in buying comics, walking down to the comic store that was a couple blocks away from my house, buying tons and tons of comic books. This, you can reread them and not damage them. Venom War number 2. It's a Scotty Young cover. I like the way I think Scotty Young draws the Venom better than he draws any other character. I love the way he makes Venom looks kind of like a kid. It's a good look for him. What If Donald Duck Became Thor? The second one of the series in these What If Disneys, where they actually it's not just the covers anymore, it's actually the story. So in this story, Donald Duck becomes Thor. So it's really, really a crossover of Disney and Marvel, more so than anything else so far. And these came out of the variant covers that they were doing. The Ultimates 4. Still haven't read the series. Plan to read it this summer, but I'm missing one of the issues, so I had to stop and try to find the issue. This is done by Dennis Camp. I'll get to it sooner or later. I also love that it was a Doom cover. You know how I am a Doom fan. Plus, we have our Marvel free issue. Tells us what's coming up. I usually go through this just to plan what I'm going to buy. And the Marvel must-haves came out again. That is just to see the stuff that you can't miss, like New Gods, which I'm a little bit behind on reading. Also, this was from the 4th of September. Next up is my comics from this past week, which I picked up yesterday. Some good stuff, including an independent comic book, The Pedestrian. I know most of you are probably not reading this. It's written by Joey Esposito with art by Sean Van Gorman. We are going to have both of them on the show to do an interview. It is a very different take on a superhero. The Pedestrian, really, as of yet, we don't know what his superpower is. He kind of just walks really slow. But it looks like it's going to get more mythical, and it's a lot of fun. Very different. Highly recommend it. Keep an eye out for our interview with them. We're going to talk to 2 independent comic book creators and see how it goes, how they go about getting their stuff out there. Task Force 7, another Absolute Power crossover. This is issue number 5. Stephanie Williams is writing it. It's definitely something. Each one of these is basically one of the Amazos takes down one of the heroes. So in this one, it's going to be taking down Wonder Woman. I think last issue it took down the Flash. So that was my favorite one. Yeah, I'm telling you, comic plug. Check this out. It's really different. And if you've been watching, you know I'm a huge Flash fan, so Flash is my favorite character. This just reminds me of like that flash cover that Francis Manipul did. Looks the same thing, but he moves kind of slow, the pedestrian. Batman 89 Echoes. You put Batman 89 on something, and I'm gonna buy it. Basically, the story is good. It's a continuation of the Batman 89 from a year and a half ago. Worth reading. Batman and Robin, probably my favorite title at Marvel right now. This is issue number 17. Joshua Williamson is writing it. Got to meet him a couple of years back at New York Comic Con. He was the Flash writer for a while. Nice guy. Great series. This is the one that deals with the relationship between Batman and Robin. Gotham by Gaslight, number 4. Andy Diggle is writing. This is the continuation of the story from a number of years ago. It takes place in like the 1800s, early 1900s, and it's more like a murder mystery. It's not your typical superhero comic. It's an Elseworlds book. I love the Elseworlds stuff. Death in the Family Robin, Robin Lives, number 3. This is a different take on what happened. Remember when Robin died and we voted and we wanted him to die years ago? I actually voted back then on the phone. You had to dial on your home phone. This is what would happen if we didn't kill him. DC vs. Vampires, World War V. Listen, I'm a vampire fan. This is issue number 2. They are continuing the fight against the vampires. I'm not sure in this how they're going to win. The first issue, it looks hopeless. Green Lantern, number 15. Jeremy Adams is writing, another former Flash writer. This is an Absolute Power crossover. Jeremy Adams is one of my favorite. Met him at New York Comic Con the year after I met Joshua Williamson. He is a absolute fantastic guy, Jeremy Adams. Fantastic. Shazam 16. Little bit more on the kid side, Shazam. It really looks at how Billy Batson would do without being Shazam. Shazam and him have been separated for a couple of issues, so definitely good. As we were talking about before, this is what started that Disney thing. This is Amazing Spider-Man 57. This is the variant cover. This happens to be my favorite of the Avengers covers, with Hawkeye shooting Ant-Man. I have like 2 or 3 copies of it already. I buy it anytime I see it. I was very happy to see this. This was so successful, they're actually turning it into real comic books. The last of the Disco Dazzler issues. This is Avengers Assemble number 1. Got Shang-Chi on the cover, getting ready to disco down. Blood Hunters, which continues. This is issue number 2. It continues the Blood Hunt saga. This team is still fighting vampires that are left from the Blood Hunt saga. Fantastic Four 25. Come on, man. It's the Fantastic Four. How can you go wrong with this? Really enjoying this story so far. I love John Tyler Christopher's Negative Space covers. I think these look awesome signed. If I could get him to sign this in like a blue paint pen, I think it would look amazing. So this is just for the cover. This is issue number 1. Finally, Ultimate Black Panther, issue number 8. So this is the stack of comics I bought from the last 2 weeks, right? All right. Stack of comics from the last weeks. My comic book shop, which is JHU Comics, had a bunch of free comics. When I went in there, they said, just take these, try them out, check them out, see if you like them. These are not comics that I normally buy. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick up some things and see if this is something that I might want to continue. And I would love to hear from you guys. If you're reading any of these comics, please let me know in the comments that I should continue to read. I haven't looked at any of these yet. This is Berserker Fallen Empire number 1. Again, I got these for free from Boom Studios. Keanu Reeves writes these. I haven't read a Berserker yet, so I missed the boat when it first came out. I'm an idiot. I should have bought it. This is the second series. The Principles of Necromancy. This is from Magma. Know nothing about it. This is Berserker Fallen Empire. This is a special cover, variant cover. Why not? It was free. They said they had a short box filled. They were, take what you want if you want to read them. We're gonna get you hooked on some other ones. So that's what I'm doing. I'm getting hooked on comics I shouldn't normally buy. You see what I buy every week? I buy too much, and now my comic shop's trying to make me buy more. Layla Starr, The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, another Boom Studios. Know nothing about it. Like the art, like that it was black and white and simple. When I went and bought these, my daughter was on, and if you watched our episode from Brooklyn Invasion, the Queens Party of Brooklyn Invasion. Actually, I could pause on this a second. Check out our recent video. It's from Saturday. We went to a comic convention in Brooklyn called the Queen's Comic Party Brooklyn Invasion. And in that episode, we are giving away a Fantastic Four 47. This is the first mention of Galactus. So this is a key issue. I accidentally bought two because I bought one from one vendor and then I went to another store and then I had it. I was like, oh my God, it's another one. So I went and I bought this too. This is a giveaway. So check out that video with information on how you can win this. This is for free. All you got to do is figure out how to enter by watching the video. The first Berserker series I heard was good. I didn't read it. Yes, we know. Yeah, does anyone know PS81? So you guys are joining my live now. Pains. So I'm a teacher. Some of the students in my school are on here right now. Jill and the Killer #2. This is from Omnipress. Jill and the Killer #3. Jill and the Killer #1. Stuff of Nightmares Boom Studio #1 from R.L. Stine. Again, completely free. Something is Killing the Children. Haven't read it yet. Heard it is fantastic. This is #36. Tony Fleeks, Uncanny Valley. We love Tony Fleeks here. He is a friend of the show. He did an interview with us. This is issue #1. And Magic 17 Boom Studios and Magic 18 Boom Studios. All right, so a lot of these comics were Boom Studios were free. Before we go, I just wanted to show you something else that we picked up this past week in honor of the passing of the great James Earl Jones. Picked up some vintage Star Wars figures. Nub, Lobo, Luke. Good price. Every one of these was under $5. Obi-Wan, Leia, and Hammerhead. Thanks for watching. So happy you guys could join us. 30 issues in. I don't think they're ever going to find out what's killing the children, to be honest with you. They're going to be running this series. And you know at some point it's going to be a movie, so. Hello, Amelia. Yes, my kids are here from school. We don't know how you found us, but you have found us. So things might get interesting on the lives going forward. Remember, next week, our live, John Cassie passed away. It was terrible. He's actually a really good friend of the comic shop we shop in here in St. Allen, JHU Comics. They were very upset about it. Next week, we will be on at 8, not 6, because we have something to do at school. So remember, love what you collect what you love. We will definitely see you next week. Thanks for watching this. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you watch the video to enter for the free giveaway. And honor Darth Vader this week. See you next